Hello again, my Scandinavian tour continues. I've taken the train from Oslo through the snowy countryside across the border, and 4 hours later I've arrived here in Gothenburg in Sweden, and I've been to the offices of Jool Capital to speak to Tom Olander. You state in your investment philosophy that the equity markets have been crippled in recent years. We all know about the established problems, but how have you had to work around those problems?
We worked around equity problems, by diversifying our clients' portfolios and our own money as well, which we deploy in investments. We've also been looking into to resources and allocating into resources and physical assets, and we've been big fans of especially gold and platinum for the last 2-3 years.
Are you talking about buying physical gold and platinum?
Yeah, it's a mixture of buying physical and buying on forward and buying in through offtake agreements from mining companies. So it's a mixture around that play, and also we could look, when we have been looking a little bit, in equity exposure in the resource sector as well.
Just to stick with gold for the moment, are you surprised it's not been more bullish recently? We've seen lots of problems with the US fiscal cliff, slowdown of growth in China, also the Eurozone problems, yet gold hasn't really appreciated that much, and of course we all know it's a safe haven play. So are you surprised it hasn't climbed more recently?
No, not really actually, because you have to bear in mind the performance that gold has had the past 4 years, and with that in the full picture, I'm pretty happy that it's stable around these levels, and I think it's going to be stable. And then it's going to be, if you look at all the big investment houses and the big investment banks, they are looking at, I think the average was on the latest report, and 2,500 per ounce. And I think we're going to see a stable thing here, and I think that when it goes, and we're going to get up there. But I'm pretty happy as it is right now. So
what, do you have any forecasts for next year, how you expect gold to move? Do you think it will move above 2,000?
I think it's going to move above 2,000, definitely.
I know it's an interesting debate. It's all opinions, because obviously it's been speaking to some people who expect it to move the other way, that it's a bubble and it's gone too far essentially. Would you not subscribe to that theory?
No, definitely not.
And that's simply because it's in demand so much? Yeah,
it's in demand, and if you look at how the macroeconomic situation is worldwide, actually it's no, I don't think it's a bubble.
Okay, and what about other natural resources? You said, I think you're interested in timber, and are you looking at the oil sector as well?
Not as much in the oil sector, but the timber business is very interesting. If you look at timber prices, if you look at the Nordic region, you have one pricing. If you look at Russia, it's one pricing, and if you then look at the African continent, where you have the exotic timber, it's huge opportunities in my perspective. It's huge opportunities.
But in terms of those prospects, are you looking more at Russia and Africa, or are you concentrating on Europe?
No, we are looking at Africa. If you look at the pricing and concessions in Africa and the demand, if you look worldwide from China, it's a huge opportunity to look in to move into Africa and start logging out from there.
Okay, and how closely regulated is that in Africa? Because I don't know, what's it like doing business in these countries?
I don't think it's a standard answer to that. It's of course a huge political risk wherever you go in Africa, and it's the first thing that comes over you. But I think if you stick to your own money when you invest, and you can be fairly sure that you own your own concessions, and you make all the proper steps and so I think if you only can maneuver through that minefield, it's great opportunities in Africa.
Sure. And what about the picture globally? Do you think that we're edging towards some sort of concerted economic growth, or do you think this uncertainty is just going to continue for a long while yet?
It's a difficult question if you look at, you know, on the full global picture. I think that I think we are recovering. I think that Europe has, you know, is having the biggest problems because we don't have any. In the US, they just solved the problems and moved on, and they are coming back. I think in the global perspective, I think if you look at the Chinese equity markets, I think that's starting to look interesting. So yeah, I think we're recovering.
And what about Sweden's place in all of this? Because obviously Sweden's very highly leveraged against the Eurozone.
Yeah, that's the other interesting part. Sweden has gone very smooth through the financial crisis since 2008, and we have been, actually the Swedish population has never been better than now. But now we're starting to see some major impacts on the Swedish economy, and that's a big reason to that is the strong Swedish krona that we have right now, which is really hurting the export business. We have from our holding company, we have a timber industry, and that's we are really suffering from the strong Swedish krona because the export business is dreadful right now, and we are competing against Finland in terms of timber, and Finland has euro, so you know this is in a small marginal business. You know we have we are struggling right now. So I'm pretty pessimistic about Sweden right now. Sorry to say.
Tom Olander, the CEO of Jool Capital, speaking to me there. And my Swedish journey continues next time at the offices of Fair Trading Technology, where I'll be discussing the challenges facing the FX industry. But from Gothenburg, goodbye for now.